Okay, welcome to our class today. Today's topic is ladders safety. Ladders. My marker here. Okay, we're going to start with interesting concept. Here it is. If we have, let's see, I'm going to move to the side here. If we have something like a here, here, here. Okay, that thing is going here, here, and here. Okay, that's a broken line right there. All right, that thing is called a cuboid. All right, paying attention so far? Now, if we hang a little string on that from the top of the cuboid, and somewhere here is going to be something that's called a center of gravity of this cuboid. Now, if we just take a perspective and see this cuboid just from the front, it's going to look like this. All right. And here's going to be the plumb on the string, a little tiny weight. Again, the center of gravity is here. This is considered the base of the cuboid, right here. Now, let's say we're going to skew this cuboid a little bit. I'd say this way. All right. And this is the base. And again, here's the plumb. Center of gravity is going to be here, hanging. The cuboid is still standing. If we start tilting that enough that the center of gravity leaves the area that is covered by the base, what is going to happen? What's a cuboid story? All right. Let's say the cuboid is tilted this way here. Okay. Here's the center of gravity, and look at that. At this point, the center of gravity has left its base. What is going to happen to this cuboid? Any ideas? She will fall. Yes, that thing is going to fall. This is your grade 9, probably physics material. Let me just erase this whole thing here. All right. Make it nice and clean. Now, say here's a ladder. Say a straight ladder. Yeah. Okay. Here is a ladder. We're standing on the ladder. And here is you are standing on this ladder. Yeah. Right. Now, first of all, you're standing too high because you're standing on the second last prong. Okay. And hold on, just give me a second here. Okay. Now, here is your belt. This is where your belt is. Okay. And now here is your belt buckle. Can we do it with a different color? Here's your belt buckle. You know what? It is commonly understood that your belt buckle is your center of gravity. So if you reach too far with your hand to do something, here's your hand now, and if you swing over too much with your legs and the belt buckle leaves the base of the ladder, then guess what's going to happen? Right? You're going to fall. So here is one idea. When you're standing on the ladder, make sure that your belt buckle, well, let's just not show too much of the belt buckle here. Make sure that your belt buckle doesn't go beyond the side rail of a ladder. Because that way you're going to fall. Now, I have a question for you, another question for you here. How high do you have to be to get injured if you fall? Any idea? Any height, 2 feet, any height, 1 feet. Okay, I get some numbers here. All right, I see some answers that say any height can injure you if you fall from it. And that is the most correct answer. If you, at some point, you may get employed by some companies that you're going to do some installations on construction sites. And pretty much on the big construction sites, or all the construction sites, before you enter that construction site, you're going to have a safety briefing, and that you probably, you're just going to have to designate 1 day or half a day for it. That's basically what I was asked at the end of the safety training. Anybody who enters the construction site for a certain amount of time, the first day you get your safety orientation. Doesn't matter who you are. Okay? And I was asked, how high do you have to be? I said, I could be sitting on the chair, in the chair, and I could fall down and I could get injured. Okay? So that would be what? 2 feet or something? Sheet of paper width, hey, height. I don't know about the sheet of paper. Okay. So that, now I'm going to give you a live example, 2 live examples. I know of someone, okay, that had some sort of an injury, sustained some sort of an injury from about 1 foot. And that person, what that person did was, that person was not climbing the ladder, but that person was coming off the ladder, going backwards, down. And that person thought that he was on the last rung of the ladder. But in fact, that person was on the second last rung of the ladder. So there was a bit of a stumble when that person got off the ladder. Unexpected stumble. And because of that, that person has sustained something that is called a whiplash injury. Whiplash injury is an injury that is caused by a sudden movement, sudden unexpected movement that you're not ready for, and it causes a great deal of pain for a great deal of time. And sometimes a whiplash can keep bugging you for the rest of your life. It can come on and come off. So that, all right, now, I'm going to talk to you about 2 parts of our brain, our human brain. One part is right somewhere here at the front, right here, and the other part is somewhere on top. The front part is called frontal cortex, and the top part of the brain is called parietal lobe. I'm not going to test you on that, I just want you to know that. Now, when you're a baby, when you're just born, that frontal cortex almost doesn't exist. It's so small. Okay? And the parietal lobe is huge. Frontal cortex deals with the sense of danger and things like that. The parietal lobe deals with the sense of pleasure and fascination, or something, and things like that. Okay, so you can notice that you really have to watch little kids that they don't run on the street, because they don't have that sense of danger developed yet. They don't understand that. The little kids don't understand that. So you have to really, really make sure they don't run out on the street so they don't get hit by a car. But on the other hand, it doesn't finish until the 25th, yeah, something like that. So On the other hand, a little kid can be fascinated with anything. You know, see a fluffy bunny hopping on the sidewalk there, and go, oh my God, I can see a bunny. Can you see someone who is like 60-year-old getting so excited about seeing a fluffy bunny jumping on the, hopping on the sidewalk? You don't. Now, where are we at this point? Most of us are, or most of you are in your early 20s. You are getting kind of half and half balance because as you age, that frontal cortex develops and that parietal lobe shrinks. So it kind of gets into reverse as you get older. So it is not very easy to impress someone who is 45 with just about anything. But the person who is 45 knows that it's not wise to run on the street and run into a traffic. Okay? So just as I just want you to keep that in mind, because if you're younger, you really have to understand that process. And then if you think about it, actually, just by me telling you, I have a reason to believe, because I don't have a scientific proof, that just by listening to me saying this, your frontal cortex just got a tiny bit bigger. Okay, so that sense of responsibility, okay, and sense of feeling danger or being safe. Okay? Reasoning. All right, that's me. All right, so here's that little bit of a psychological or psychiatrical. I'm not a psychologist and I'm not a psychiatrist. But this is pretty much common knowledge, so I think I'm safe saying this thing to you. All right. Now, let's jump into our PowerPoint presentation, and we're going to talk about the safety that has to do with the ladders. Now, if you notice that in the announcements, I have posted a couple of suggested YouTube links. I strongly recommend that you watch those. I might ask you some questions on the test that are associated with those, and a lot of that's on those YouTube videos is going to be covered in our classes anyways. Okay. All right, so let's hit that here. All right, scaffold and ladder safety training. Section 1 overview. All right, let's just. Where is the videos? Okay, I have posted those videos in the announcement. Not the announcement, no, in the content, right? In the class content. Just where you go to download the posted lecture notes, it's called Week 7 suggested links or something like that. All right. Now, let's just take a look at some statistics. These are statistics from 2003, 2006. I suppose not much has changed from then, but I just want to get you to see some of the visuals here as far as statistics. Okay. Now, here's a pie chart, beautiful pie chart. And this is talking about fatalities by event or exposure, and this has to do with the residential construction. What do we see on this pie chart here? First, fatalities. That means accidents when people die. So about 2% of all the fatalities in the residential construction will be from fires and explosions. Then assaults and violent acts, about 3%. Then fatalities due to transportation accidents, it would be 14%. Exposure to harmful substances and or environments, about 18%. And then contact with objects and equipment in whatever way it might be, that's about 18%. And look at this. 45% of this pie chart is filled with falls. This will be the deaths by falls. Now we're going to take a look at the falls, because that's what we're dealing with today. We're dealing with safety that has to do with ladders. So we're going to deal with the false accidents. So let's just concentrate on the false. What happens here on this pie chart? This is just fall fatalities. Okay, out of that 45%, we're just going to take that 45%, make it 100%, and let's see what types of falls. Now, falls fall down the stairs or steps. So we are talking about 1% here. Another 1% falls from the same level. Somebody trips over something, excuse me, and they fall and they die. Okay, falls other or unspecified. So anything else, we're talking about another 1%. Then there's 1% falls from building, other structural constructions. Then we're talking fall from non-moving vehicle, about 2%. Now we're increasing the percentages here from for floor, dock, or ground level. So now we're talking about 8%, 9% fall to lower level, unspecified or elsewhere classified. 15% from scaffold or staging. Then 22% from ladders. Okay, and then fall from the roof. So the only thing that tops the falls from the ladders is falls from the roof. So 22% is a lot. So that's what we're dealing with right now. Okay, section 2, ladder and stairway safety. Let's keep going with this show here. Okay, common ladder hazards. Let's see what the common ladder hazards are. Overreaching when working from a ladder. So this would be the cuboid picture that I drew for you. So you get the visual on what's happening here. So overreaching, reaching too far. Standing on the top 2 steps of a step ladder. We will cover that too. Non-securing the ladder correctly. Portable ladders not 3 feet above the landing surface. And we will talk about the terminology as well. What is the landing surface? And everybody knows what 3 feet is. It's a length. And in proper setup. Just the common terminology of a step ladder. This is what a step ladder looks like. So here on top of we have is the top cap of the step ladder. We should never stand on that one. This is not to be stood upon. Right? Then we have the pale shelf. That's what it's called. We should never stand on that either. Never stand on that. Then over here we have rails. There'll be side rails. There'll be rear bracing right here. And there'll be a rear foot. Of course, there will be a front foot and a foot pad. And then there will be a diagonal bracing happening here. This will be a front rail. And we have steps here. Now, standing too high on the step ladder is that you should never stand on the 2 top steps, which would be, you should never stand on the top cap, and you should never stand on the last step, second last step right here. That's as high as we can go. All right. Choosing the right ladder. Before stepping onto a ladder, think about these things. All right. Duty rating of a ladder. What capacity can it hold? Mostly weight and structure or the integrity of it as well. Height of the ladder. The ladder could be too short or too tall. The ladder should be of the right length for the right job. Condition of the ladder and instructions unique to the ladder selected. There are different types of ladders constructed in various different ways. Try to turn, okay, thank you. The condition of the ladder is crucial as well, as far as as far as the safety is concerned. Now, when you see here, what is it, the duty rating right here? Duty rating of a ladder. What capacity can it hold? Well, the duty ratings, it would be, well, here's the Roman numeral 3. There will be a light duty household for household use. It can hold up to 200 pounds. Now, 200 pounds is not necessarily just your body weight. It is the weight of you with anything that you hold, anything that's on that ladder. So it could be tools, it could be some other objects. Okay? I don't think I can use that ladder, even without the tools. Right. Now, medium duty, too much muscle, that's it. All right. No, then we have medium duty, heavy duty. I don't think, I know what, on a good day, maybe I can use that ladder here, the medium duty, but I don't think I could hold any tools. If I hold a screwdriver, it's going to be too much. Heavy duty industrial, then it can hold 250 pounds and so on. You can read extra heavy duty industrial to 300 pounds and special duty 375 pounds rating. Okay. Now, when if you're using the ladder for construction, if you work on construction site and if you use your ladder for that purpose, those ladders, the heavy duty, the industrial ladders and commercial. Well, industrial would be more something more that you would probably have to buy if you're doing installations and running wires and doing all kinds of things on the construction site. This is probably the minimum that you want to buy. This ladder is going to be a little heavier to carry, but it's going to carry you, okay, in return. And it's not going to fall apart on you, so you don't have to buy a ladder every month. All right, there are stickers on the side rails of the ladder that you can read all about it. So here's the load capacity, here's a duty rating, ladder size. This is a step ladder, this is an extension ladder. So on the left side we have a step ladder, and on the right side we have something that's called extension ladder. We're going to take a look at that, what that is as well. Maximum reach 10 feet for a step ladder here. Well, that means when you're standing on it, okay? And then the highest standing level would be 3 feet and 10 inches, almost 4 feet. So that's as high as you can stand on, all right? And then there's some other information as well, just like the barcode, all right? Someone says, I don't like extension ladders. I feel like they're gonna fall choke. Yeah, well, we're going to talk about safety that has to do with extension ladders as well. Eggs Benedict recipe. All right, okay. All right, keep going. Extension ladders. So this is what an extension ladder looks like. Now let's take a look at what is involved in an extension ladder. All right, so here we have side rails, just like in step ladders. Now, the section on the bottom is called a base section. And then the section on top of that is called a fly section. Why is this called a fly section? Because that fly section slides on top to make it extended ladder. So that's why it's called extension ladder. Right now, we also have something that's called rung locks. Now these here, okay, so those horizontal bars here, they're called rungs. And these are mechanical devices that are called rung locks. So basically, when you extend this ladder, that rung lock is going to ride on top of that rung, and if you tilt it back a little bit, if you retract that ladder, that rung lock is going to lock onto that to make this the structure steady. And then you have a rope and pulley system. So you can push that fly section from the bottom, or you can just stand on the other side, underneath the ladder, and pull on that rope, and that rope is going to pull that fly section up. Okay, so that's basically the parts of extension ladders. We just talked about step ladders and extension ladders. There are more than just the two types, but these are the two basic types of ladder that you're going to come across. Proper ladder setup. Okay, so first we have to consider a pitch of the ladder, and then secure and stabilize the ladder. Now, let's talking about the pitch. The pitch, we're talking about how the angle of tilt, right? So the pitch of the ladder is you have to have 4-to-1 pitch. So for every foot that the ladder is high, you have to have a quarter of the foot that's away from the wall, or the wall, for example. Right. So for every 4 feet, you're going to have over 4 feet in height of the ladder. You have to position the ladder away from the surface 1 foot. So 4-to-1 pitch. If it is too far, the ladder might walk on you. It's going to slide backwards as you're climbing it. And if it's less than that, so the pitch is going to be too high, the ladder is going to be too steep. As you walk on that, you can actually tip the ladder backwards and the ladder is going to fall on you. So here's the pitch. Extension ladders should be used at a 4-to-1 pitch. That's what it means. Now, the rungs of extension ladders, usually they are 1 foot apart. So you can just you can count the feet just by pulling the ladder up, and then you can actually use your tape measure to see how far you have to be away from the wall. All right, proper height extension ladders. Okay, this one here says when accessing another level, ladder must extend at least 3 feet above the landing surface to provide a handhold for getting on and off the ladder. So the landing surface is basically the top of the roof. That's called the landing surface. So you're climbing the ladder, you should have that ladder extended 3 feet above in order to minimize the chance of you getting injured, such as from the fall. Okay. All right. Secure and stabilize the ladders. Okay, extension ladders should be secured at the top or bottom to prevent movement. I would say secure the ladder at the top and at the bottom. The base of extension ladder must be secured in place by using the safety feet on the ladder or other effective means. I love that one, other effective means. All right, so you have to tie off the ladder. You have to tie it to some solid surface there, so the ladder is not going to move on you. Right? See, this is the mobile surface here. That yeah, it's a movable type of a surface, which would be the ladder, and this would be a solid, immobile surface. Guess what's going to happen when you have 1 foot on the ladder and another foot on the solid surface? There's a chance that those things can come apart because you're going to be prying yourself off that, so you can step on the landing surface and you might actually push that ladder away. So you have to tie off the ladder at the top by using effective means. Now, secure and stabilize the ladder on the bottom. Okay, the feet of the ladder. If it's a solid surface, you might want to retract the feet so the flat part is on the bottom. But if it's a damp surface or a little bit softer, like a grass or so, then you might want to retract those feet this way here. But you also have to read the instructions on that. Some of them are made that way. Some of them might be made in another way. But if you put watch that video, one of those videos, he's talking about that, how you should position your feet on this, on the bottom of that. If there is some sort of a damage of the, in the structure of the ladder, actually any sort of damage in the ladder structure, that ladder is unsafe, unusable. And you know what? There is no repair shop. There's no ladder repair shop. If the ladder is damaged, just throw it out, get another one. Now here's the second story. Now I spent some time on the construction sites over the 30 years that I've been in business. And let me tell you, some sounds you kind of remember forever. And one of the sounds that I remember is that I was in the inside of one of the buildings, and then there was somebody else working on the outside of the building. We were unrelated. That person was from another company, and I was working for a different company, but we were at the same, working on the same building. And then I knew that that person was outside working on the ladder. It was extension ladder, and I knew that the surface was uneven. But I'm not the ladder police, so I might mention something to someone. But that other person is also a trade person, but they know what they're doing. So I was kind of not really happy with the situation. But what can I do? What can I say? And then after about 15 minutes of me working inside, I was terminating some wires, I can hear some wobbling, and I know they use the ladder. And I think maybe that person is just repositioning the ladder or something, but no, the wobble continues, and I can hear some extended version of a wobble, and I know, okay, that's a fall. And it kind of sounds quite vivid. And then I'm listening further, and I'm listening and I'm thinking, is there going to be that big thump or not? I hope there isn't, but you know what? There was a wobble, thump. I could feel the thump in my body. It took me about 9 seconds to get around out of the building. And see what happens. There was a bit of a hole in the ground that the ladder was positioned in, and trust me, your brain works 100 miles an hour because I'm running towards that hole and I don't see what's on the bottom of that hole in the ground, and I'm thinking that I'm going to see something that I really don't care to see, but still going anyway. Turned out that the person was okay. He just kind of broke his wrist, but that was it. So, but you know what? That sound right now, it happened something about 10 years ago, and I can still remember pretty much almost every detail of every sound that was made. So you don't want to hear that. Well, that's yeah. Okay. So the ladder should be safely secured at the bottom as well as at the top, and it has to be secured by effective means. Here's some examples of that. All right. Now, ladder stabilization. There are different devices that are on the market to stabilize the ladder. This is a stabilizer. Did I put the... yes, I did. This one is called stabilizer here. Excuse me. And this one is called a foot extension. Sometimes you work on uneven surfaces, and it is okay to use that as long as the ladder or the structure was designed for that. Okay. Do not improvise by putting some bricks or things like that under the ladder's feet, because you know what? That story that I told you, somebody put a brick underneath that one of the feet of the ladder, and it was just an accident waiting to happen, and it did. All right. Now, all the textbooks we have now. Okay, all the things we know now. Make a good foot extension. I didn't see that. Okay, step ladders. Let's talk about step ladders now. Only use in fully open position on firm level ground. What happens is that you're going to see sometimes, it's a common sight to see, and you know what, I don't really like to see that, but I still see it. The step ladder, it's basically, it's like an inverted V section. So sometimes what people will do is they will just fold it and they'll put it against the wall to use it as a straight ladder. That is not supposed to be done. This is also an accident waiting to happen. So don't do that, children. Yeah, yeah, the ladder should be fully, properly extended. Right? So the crossbars are fully engaged, or the cross braces. Do not use a step ladder that is folded or in leaning position, which is basically what I just told you. All right, never sit or stand on the top 2 rungs. The top 2 rungs are off limits for standing or sitting. Consider work height when selecting a step ladder. So when I showed you that sticker, based on that sticker, you can see the height of the ladder and you can see the maximum reach, and that should be pretty much followed. Maintain the safe position on the ladder. Face the ladder when ascending or descending. Do not turn away from the ladder and use it as stairwell or something like that, or set of stairs. You should be facing the ladder. Maintain 3 points of contact at all times. Well, you have 2 feet and you have 2 hands. The most that you can get off the ladder is either one hand or 1 foot. The 3 others is considered a 3 point of contact. Some climbers have training like that. I'm not a climber. I don't climb any mountains, but it's also a common procedure for explaining how to climb things. Same thing with the ladders. Maintain 3 points of contact at all times. Keep your body centered on the ladder, and here's the belt buckle. Never let your belt buckle pass either of the side rails. Right? What happens when your belt buckle passes the side rail? Well, your center of gravity goes beyond the base, and it's just a simple law of physics. You can't cheat that unless you have one of those hats with the helicopter thingy on the thing, so you have to engage that. So you said, no. Okay. All right. Okay. Maintaining a safe position on the ladder. Okay, let me see here. All right, so you can see here that this person has 4 points of contact. What can you see here? The pitch of the ladder is 1 to 4 or 4 to 1 for every foot, like every 4 feet. There's 1 foot extended. What happens if you put it out too far? The ladder might actually slide down on you, walk on you. It happened to me once. Guilty. I did it once. I'll never, ever, ever do that again. The ladder was a little bit further than it should have been, and it started sliding on me. And let me tell you, I think I beat the world speed record on climbing down. I don't know how it happened. It took me about half a second to come down. Well, I will never, ever do that again. That happened when I was much younger and inexperienced. So what else can we see here on this picture? The ladder is tied off. I can see there's some straps here, and there are 3 feet above the landing surface. So that's a correct way of using the ladder. Now you can see there's a heavy-duty commercial fiberglass ladder, and looks like things are intact. So that looks like looks like things are good here. Right? Now, aluminum or aluminium versus fiberglass or wood ladder. If you're working with electricity, never use aluminum ladder or aluminum ladder, because you know what? Aluminum is a metal and it does conduct electricity. So you can get quite injured, not by a fall, or you can get electrocuted and then you fall. Right, so you get a double whammy with that. So when we're working with electricity, do not use metal ladders. Use fiberglass or wood. Hey, all right. So let's see here. This is 2:42 right now. It went faster than I expected. However, I'm going to suggest that you take this time because you have 20 minutes, and those two videos are 10 minutes long each. And based on watching those videos, you're going to have a little bit of a even more idea of, or you'll be more conscious of the safety conscious, well, as far as using the ladder safely. And then if you have any questions, show them here. No, I'm not going to show them here because I'm recording this session here. And I don't want, because the session is going to be recorded and it's going to be posted on YouTube. And I am not sure if I will be violating some copyrights or not. So I'm not going to publish any of that. But if somebody else has made another video, I can suggest that you watch it. And you know what? They also deserve the clicks that they worked hard for. Right? It is not in actually, it's not in announcements. Let me see if I can show you where that is. Yeah, just queue it up a bit. It takes time. No, it's not Firefox, not Firefox. Yeah. Let's get Chrome. All right. Venture Online, log in. Here is our class portal. And if you go, okay, I'm going to make myself look like a student, view as a student. So if you go into the content right here, click on that, and you see the student resources. These are all the posted lecture notes. This lecture note is going to be posted November 6th, tomorrow, after the second lecture, because we have to cover the scaffolds as well. And this one here, you can actually, you can open right now, and it's going to look like this. When you open that, it's a PDF file, couple of links. You can just click on those and you can watch them. These are two basic ones, but you can, once you click on that, you're going to see other related links that have to do with that. So why don't you take this time and see those two videos. And we're going to, tomorrow when we start the scaffolds and working platforms safety, we are going to maybe take the first 5-10 minutes answering some questions if you have any. If not, we're just going to continue with the lesson. All right, are there any questions? No, there's not. It's not a death video. It's actually it's actually how to stay alive video. All right, are there any questions about anything that has to do with the course? The midterms are done. I posted the midterms already for this class. Midterms, it's technically it is a mark, but technically it's not, if that makes sense to you. It's basically taking a sample of your progress, and the midterm mark is going to tell you whether your progress is satisfactory or unsatisfactory. So if you get S, that means you're okay, you're satisfactory. The threshold is 60%, and so if your overall mark based on the progress so far is 60%, then you're okay. Satisfactory progress, if it's less than 60%, then there is some indication that you should maybe step up a little bit on your studies, okay, on your engagement. Where do we see the midterms? You know what? I don't know. I just post them. So when I was a student, it was years ago. You know what? I'm going to find out for you tomorrow. And I'm going to tell you, you should probably have them. I think you should see an email with that, but I'm going to make sure. All right, cool. Okay, so take the next few minutes or 15 minutes, watch those videos, And I am going to ask some questions on the test that have to do with this topic and a scaffold. So next week I'm going to release the test, and it's going to be same as always. You're going to have a week to complete that, and please be honest, because if you're not, you're going to cheat yourself. And as I always say to everybody, this 2020, it's a COVID kind of a year, and the employers know that the education system is running on a little bit, a little bit different tribe. So if you find a job, if you're looking for a job, you're going to present them a piece of paper that you have completed certain type of a course, but the employers know that the education is done in certain different way. They're going to make sure that you don't only have the paper, they're going to poke you for information and knowledge just to make sure that you actually do know your stuff. So if you cheat, you're cheating yourself. I know how to do these things. I'm not looking for those jobs. You are. All right. Okay. Cool. Well, stay healthy and safe or something like that. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.